Okay, we'll call our meeting to order at 7 o'clock. We'll stand for the pledge and then we'll remain standing for this appropriate say a prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm privileged to be able to offer the prayer tonight. Linda wrote it for me, so I hope you appreciate it. Heavenly Father, we welcome your spirit in this place tonight. We ask that you give your wisdom, knowledge, and discernment to the board members and those in this room as decisions are made affecting the town of Princetown. We pray your will be done and not self-will. We pray your unity and peace will prevail over division and discord. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you.
Amen.
And I'd like to wish everybody here a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thanks for coming too.
And at this time, I'm going to excuse myself because we're both recovering from all kinds of nastiness that went doing and spread it around the room. My husband was good enough to bring it, and so thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yes, I'm really We're trying to go along without
Okay, we'll open for privileges on the floor at 7:03.
Yeah, I just want to make a point to thank Mr. LaBelle for all his service. I'm sorry he won't be with us next year, but we certainly appreciate everything you did, and you served admirably, and I personally appreciate it, and thank you.
Mr. Vogt, it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure serving the residents of Princetown. It's been a pleasure working with the board members. I look forward to continuing to give back in other ways. So you haven't seen the last of me, and again, I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well,
My name is Joe Krasinski. I live on this road. Before I read my comments, I'm looking at the agenda for this week. And it says settlement and lease agreement, limited lease agreement between the town of Princetown, Robert Ogden, Timothy Warren, and TMB Building. But it doesn't have anything in here. It says, and the next one, that Myers can sign the settlement. But what is the settlement? It's being kept from the citizens of the town? Anyway, well, where is it? I don't see it. Anyway.
it had to do with the legal issue.
So what? You're gonna pass this, and it's gonna be invisible to the public?
No, we dealt with it last meeting, Joe.
You did.
Yes, we did.
Is it written down?
Well, it was done executive session.
Ah, the point of my privileges of the floor today.
Okay, well, you're jumping into the meeting, so go ahead. We haven't gotten there yet, but go ahead.
Okay. Out of 11 regular town board meetings held in 2016, 9 of them, or 82%, ended in executive session. What does this mean? According to the town law manual for town supervisors and town boards, Bob, you know this book? Doug, you do? I don't know if you do, Tom. But this book, from Public Officers Law, Article 102.3, defines executive session to mean a portion of an open meeting during which the public may be excluded. Okay. In the 9 instances of executive sessions that this town board held in 2016, the public was excluded from all of them. And interestingly, even the town clerk was excluded from the October 11th and the November 15th sessions. What does this mean? It means the public was excluded from 82% of discussions of matters of town business. And what it means to me is that this town board had something to hide from the public for every town board meeting except February and July, when you didn't have executive session. This allegation is further strengthened by this town board's violation of the in particularity requirement of the law, which says the town board motion must identify with particularity the subject to be discussed. But meeting minutes from January, April, May, and June identified the reason vaguely to discuss a personnel matter. September was to discuss an employee matter. And October was to discuss a legal matter. There was nothing in particular that the law demands. So, what is it? The 9 executive sessions of 2016 essentially addressed secret business. Bob, are you listening? Secret business. That's what I see this town board doing. And it's all behind closed doors. This is a perception that I'm a citizen of this town.
Everything we've done has been legal and by the book.
Ah, okay, except that you broke the law by not following it in particularity.
Because we didn't follow your law.
No, sir, this is a clear violation of this law, and that the town attorney allowed the motions to stand surprises me. Secret business dealings by a town board in Princetown is not what this town deserves. I'm sorry. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Anyone else? Or would you close the privilege of the floor?
Mike Joyce, Ennis Road. So, a couple questions. So, this limited lease agreement, I actually want to ask the attorney, although I don't really expect an answer. I'm assuming that Councilman Schaefer and Councilman LaBelle have not made the agreement. And I'm assuming they're going to want you to vote on it. Bob Ivanello owes the town of Princetown $12,000 in planning board fees. Been going on for over a year. Bob Ivanello sued the town for building permits. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is to release Ivanello of that claim?
That's part of the agreement.
Is there more to it?
Yes.
And is there a reason why we're not clearly and communicating this to the public? I mean, we talk about budgets and this and that, but we're going to forgive somebody $12,000 in fees?
When the resolution comes up, it can be discussed. It's been discussed in executive session appropriately, and it's available for all board members to review the terms of the agreement, not to mention the terms have already been discussed, I think, at least twice in executive session.
So you've read the agreement?
No, we discussed and came to a conclusion in executive session about that agreement.
So we haven't read the agreement, though?
We came to the terms, we wrote the agreement.
You agree with that, sir?
We wrote I believe we wrote the terms, we agreed on the terms of the agreement.
So you were on the planning board, Tom,
That's correct.
and we spent money, the town spent $12,000 worth of money.
I won't opine.
I'm just asking if you were present, that's all. I mean, the records would show you
Oh, yes.
you were there or not.
I've been on the planning board for many years.
Right, so the town, in good faith, spent this money. We filed a suit. All we have to do is collect the money. It's not like there's hundreds of witnesses to attest to this. He owes us money and they're gonna forgive it. Just for the record, Doug, did you work for Ivanhoe and Warner?
I abstained from the whole thing, and I'm going to tell you something. How did you find all this information out? Executive session
It's
is
on-
supposed to be, nobody talks about.
Are
And
you
you
making
looked
an
at Sue
accusation?
Schaefer and asked her what was done. Now, you've already talked to Sue Schaefer.
No, I haven't.
Okay. I can tell by the way you looked at it. You did, so
It's here.
shake your head, you know, Joe? Shake your head.
You're wrong,
Do
Bob.
your thing. I'm wrong? I don't think so. I abstained from it because
I
I
will
work
bring
for
it up
Lana.
myself in a few minutes on where and everything that it was, that I received an agenda earlier from Sandy. This agenda that I just got handed is totally different, with all that taken out. So it was available, and I did have it.
What's the hiding? So,
Right, I mean,
and no, it doesn't matter, Doug. You work for him, so you have to abstain from the vote.
I
It
did.
has been.
No, you haven't
I
voted
did.
yet. You haven't voted yet.
If you,
I abstained from when they were talking.
let me
Okay.
clarify, because it's none of the board members' fault. The-
I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
The full agreement was in the initial draft of the agenda. And I wrote and said, I don't think you need to list the whole thing out as long as it's available for everyone's review. So they took it out on my advisement. It's not a secret. It's available for anybody to look at if they want to. We've already discussed all the terms, and there's no secret terms in there. But the only reason it came out of the first draft Susan had was because I said it doesn't need to be a whole thing in here for Sandy to read. But I said as long as it's available, and it is.
After you vote.
No, before the vote.
Well, has everybody seen the agreement?
It's available for the board members to review.
In the interest of transparency, a $12,000 decision, because we spent the money fair enough, you don't think it would be transparent enough to give it to the town and say, hey, by the way, we're going to forgive $12,000?
I don't want to get into the whole thing, but if for some reason it doesn't pass, we don't really need the other litigants knowing necessarily, and the whole public knowing what the terms of the agreement are before it's passed, because it's a litigation matter, and I can't negotiate with the other side if they know of all of our discussions about the negotiation. So there's an executive session privilege to some
I
extent with the
understand
agreement.
that, but we're talking about the agreement now. The agreement's not secret anymore, right?
I'm assuming, I don't know if they're going to pass it or not, if they're going to make changes or what.
Is the agreement secret?
No, it's already been
Then
distributed.
how come the residents can't read it?
They will be able to read it. They're-
After the vote?
Whatever the board wants to do, they can make it available before.
I'm good, thanks.
And this, if I might just respond to that, this was supposed to have been taken care of back in 2014, Mike. There was no escrow account made, which was supposed to have been provided for this particular case. So our attorney then and himself did not provide an escrow account, which was supposed to have been collected prior to him being billed. And so the planning board at that time did not send in proper bills, nor, and then it was going through that moratorium time as far as the Hamlet deal. After that was all settled, that's when he received this bill for $10,000 or whatever. And the way it's been looked at is, the $10,000 was supposed to have been gone after when Cuevas was in charge. Okay, the board voted then not to exceed $5,000 for him to go after this particular case.
So
Okay?
you're all over the place. So first off, the ESCO resolution, that Vic Benson wrote that, gave it to the board, you voted it down.
Okay, but that was something that Cuevas and you were supposed to, and when I took
You
office,
voted it down.
it was put on my desk for me to handle, okay?
It
And
was
now,
filed
you didn't
in
want to deal with it, that
2015.
was the whole thing.
This was filed in 2015. So that's number one.
yeah,
You were there, you voted for it. It was filed. Case was filed, period. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
okay.
No, if we're gonna debate, that's fine.
No, we're not
So-
going to now.
Good deal, that's fine. So the planning board has nothing to do with billing, nothing to do with billing. Do you issue bills, or does your attorney issue bills?
No,
Who does?
I'm not debating with you. We'll
That's right,
discuss it
the
when we-
town clerk does. So at the time, the town clerk if there was a mix-up in the billing, it was the town clerk. You were there, you were aware of this. The question really is why to change mine? So everything that you just said is either way out of order, a sequential order, but you still can't answer the question, why are you relieving?
We'll discuss it
12,000.
as a board, Mike. I'm not debating it with you.
Well, just respond to the residents.
No. When we discuss it here, that's
We're
fine.
good.
You have nothing positive to say about this town, so I don't need to listen.
That's right. No, it's town board.
That's right. You don't.
Anybody else have
All
anything to
you
say?
do is try to knock it down.
That's because you deserve it.
Good.
Well, that's neither here.
I
Anybody
have a
else?
question.
Yes, Lisa.
I would like to know if the newly elected town board member can answer a few questions. Okay? I'm curious, I do have the answers, and I want to know if he's going to be honest about it. I would like to know how his campaign letters ended up in envelopes from the independent party that did not endorse him.
Well, we can't really
I
get into
know how.
political stuff.
I know how, but I want to hear it from him, because he's already
He's not-
starting on a wait a minute, he's already starting on a slippery slope before he even gets sworn in.
No,
He has
I,
already, wait a minute, he has already, okay, misled the residents before he even sits up there.
well, he got in with,
I know who he got in with.
so
And I know who
he
coached
was
him.
in the wrong as well as those that he's associated himself with, but that's politics and we can't be discussing politics.
Right, but he also misled the residents of this town.
Okay, well, that'd have to be for another time.
So if we're going to open up a discussion, let's open it up. If not, we have hold of the meeting, point of order.
She was asking questions, Mike.
She should be
just
standing
like
up
you.
there, right?
I
She gave her
can sit
name.
wherever I want.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll close privilege of the floor then at 7:18. Okay, and Sandy will turn the meeting over to you.
Meeting minutes, it is hereby resolved that the meeting minutes of November 15th, 2016 are approved or as amended.
For the motion. Do we have a motion to accept them?
I'll make it.
Go. We have a second? I'll second.
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Abstain, because there's action.
Councilwoman Schaefer. Yes. Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
General fund claims. It is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim numbers 278 to 308 in the amount of $18,142.70.
Have a motion to accept that?
I'll make the motion.
Tom? I'll second.
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer,
No, I haven't seen that.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
General fund transfers. It is hereby resolved that the town board approves the following transfers. From 16254 Town Hall Energy, $396.30 to 16234 Town Hall Telephone, 19904 Contingency, $1,318.85 to 16714 Central Print Supplies, 19904 Contingency to $500 to 80254 Planning Board Attorney Professional Fees.
You have a motion to accept this transfer?
I'll make the motion.
Doug? You have a second? I'll second.
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer.
I just have questions first. I was looking over it, and I'm wondering why it's going, there's 1318 going to Central Print Supplies. Because I was looking at the budgeted, and it was budgeted for, $5,066 in 2015 and in 2016. So I'm wondering what's gone over the $5,066, $1,300 worth from the last 2 years. Yeah, I thought that was for the newsletters. In newsletters, there was 4 in the previous years, there's only been 2 this year, so there's actually been less letters going out. So I'm just curious.
Okay, that would have to be Sandy or Isla as far as town hall.
But I mean, that's a lot of money, I'm just wondering why, how it's, Central Print, where did it go up from? That's my curiosity. You don't know?
Well, that could that be for the postage and stuff that you were talking about,
The
Sandy?
postage is a separate line, so it does, the postage comes out of the mail postage line.
Because I checked it, and the one line said Central Print, and that was for 2716. And
The
then-
S is employee pay. Central Print mail is the postage, and then supplies is the actual cost for the printer.
For the envelopes and all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, postage comes out of the mail line. There's no envelopes.
I'm just curious, just because there was 4 in the previous 2 years, for the budget, and there's only 2 this year, yet it's going up 1,300, that's a lot of money. I just wondering.
You got me, that's got to do with town hall expenses. So we'd have to check with Isla on that.
And I can't vote no.
Okay?
Supervisor Myers.
Yep.
Water fund claims, it is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim numbers 96 to 110 in the amount of $3,560.56.
Okay, we have a motion to accept that.
I'll make the motion.
Doug?
I'll second.
Tom?
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer,
No, I haven't seen yours yet either.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
Highway claim, it is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim number 5 in the amount of $1,331.95 for the repair of potholes.
Motion to accept this.
I'll make the motion.
Doug?
Second.
Tom?
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer,
No.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
Highway
I haven't seen it,
transfer,
okay? I really don't appreciate that talk.
December 2016. Is hereby resolved that the town board approves the transfer of $1,331.95.
Joe, you're out of order.
Oh, I'm out of order.
You don't tell somebody to shut up in our meeting. If you got to act that way, you can go.
I didn't.
I just heard
I
you.
didn't.
Okay, then I'm hearing things.
You are. In no respect, she was out of order, criticizing Sue.
Okay, you're interrupting
I
the
wasn't
meeting.
talking to her.
Okay, Lisa.
Your voice is in your
Sorry, Sandy.
It is hereby resolved that the town board approves the transfer of $1,331.95 from account number 99019 to account number 5031 for the repair of potholes.
Have a motion to accept this.
I'll make it.
Doug?
I'll second.
Tom?
Councilman Gray,
Yes.
Councilman Lavelle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer,
No.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
Settlement and limited lease agreement between the town of Princetown, Robert Ivanella, Timothy Larned, and T&B Builder Developer Incorporated. is hereby resolved that the town board approves the settlement and limited release agreement between the town of Princetown and Robert Ivanella, Timothy Larned, and T&B Builder Developer Incorporated.
Okay, before we vote on it, we'll have some discussion on that.
By the way, that's a typo, it should be release, not lease.
Oh, and the header.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, does any of the board have discussion before we move to a vote?
I do.
Okay, Susan?
The problem that I'm having with it is these were bills that the town paid for the engineering and the attorney fees and everything for them to have, from what I've researched, because I was not here at the time, but I've done a lot of research, a lot on computer. I know we were in executive sessions, I was taking what you guys were telling me, and then I looked into it. I'm not comfortable with it. It's setting a bad precedent for anybody in the future trying to get a permit. Other people pay their bills, and if they don't have to, that's totally wrong. I've looked into the future or the past of other businesses, and I've seen way back in the 90s, and straight through, they have had people suing them for the same type things of not following any rules. And I printed some of them out and brought them with me. So this is a habit. And now, to my understanding, they took a building down, the barn. That barn is still sitting there. When are they going to clean that up? They took all the good wood and sold it across from the road here. And what about the house and the building permit that they're trying to get for the demolishing?
That's been stopped. The stop work order has been put on that.
So they can't demolish without looking into it, because it is an old home. And I know our houses back in the 1800s, we had asbestos siding and everything too, which I'm very glad. But my point is, I think it would be worth pursuing this, even if it costs. It is an even break. I don't believe the town would have to pay them back any money. I really don't feel that way. And looking at their past and the history of them, this has been a continuing thing that they've done all different towns, in Albany, in Rotterdam, everywhere. And we're just going to be another town that just let them keep stepping on us and getting away with it.
So then what you're saying, it's okay to spend another $15,000 to get the 10 or 12 that he owes us?
Yes. I mean, you know, I know you guys laugh and I think it's funny, but I also think I know Doug doesn't want to be on it. He didn't excuse himself from the executive meeting. You didn't leave the room. You still sat there. You did work for them. I don't think that was right. That was breaking the law. You shouldn't have been in there. And I got online and was looking for their campaign stuff. I know he ran a fundraiser for everybody right across the hall and funded it.
Where was it?
Ivanella,
Where was the fundraiser?
over at the old, where now is the state troopers, or the sheriffs.
Well,
So I wonder-
He did no fundraiser for us.
I wouldn't even know because I haven't seen any statements on where the funds have come from.
Well, he did no fundraiser.
But I'm
for
saying,
us.
it hasn't even been publicized. Everything else has on who's donated. So what I'm saying is I find it a huge conflict of interest that he still wants to build more, yet we're gonna let him slide on this. And then after, like I said, reading through and I see the one is on probation right now for something, I'm like, what are we dealing with? Is it just corrupt stuff? That's perfectly what it looks to me. I mean, I've stuck here. If anybody wants to read it, I printed it all out because I spent time going through it, trying to understand it because I wasn't here at the time. And I think it's very crooked that we let somebody like that not even fight for the town and get our money back that they paid just because somebody backed out on them is really what it boiled down to from what I was looking at. I don't agree with it. And I think it sets a bad example for anybody else that has paid their bills. I mean, you guys dwell on, everybody's got to stay within their budget. They got to do this, they got to do that. Well, I can't even get an answer over the budget for the, the contingency fund, why it's going for the printing. But everybody else has to stay on that budget, stay on that budget. Everybody else has to follow the rules, pay their fees. Except why is this one, which is huge, being swept under the rug and it's still going to be offering to give more to them and build more, take down houses, leave a barn dropped, not clean it up. I mean, I don't understand. I wish somebody could explain it to me because it's not making
Well,
any sense to
Your
me.
comments about sweeping under the carpet, I have no intentions, and that's not my intent of doing it. I'm just looking out as far as the town budget. For us, that we've been advised that it could cost $5,000 to $15,000. I just figured, hey, 10,000 is better than making it, and we have no guarantee of winning. So if we spend $10,000 or $15,000, we're out 25,000. So
I know what you're
that's the
all
way
trying
I've
to
looked
make
at
it
it.
to believe, but
And just-
it doesn't look, I'm watching, and they're on probation, they are getting in trouble for these things. So I feel we would have a good chance of getting that back. It's already been paid from, what I see. Those bills have been paid to the engineers, to the attorneys, to everything that fought for him, or the planning stuff that he had put into it, or asked us, the town to put into it.
Do you know why it was put on hold?
I don't.
Because of the hamlet that they were trying to put through, and
And so
moratoriums were put up.
Right, so the
Yeah.
person backed out, that he was gonna do. And never even got through it. I mean, he could have still hung on to that.
Mhm.
I don't think he should just be able to not have to pay. After
I
the
think he
town
should
put so
pay
much
too,
in.
but he's indicated he's not going to, and so.
So if
for
I
us to
say,
spend
all right, I'm not
15
gonna pay this, okay, that's fine. But, we have a judge and he had to strict by, we couldn't give him any more money. No, he had a budget. You've gotta stay by that budget. Do you let, can you go over your budget and is that okay? No, I gotta stay to my budget is what was discussed. Well, that's not true because now I can't even get,
We'll check on that. I said we'll check with Isla on that.
that's fine. But
Okay,
I don't
there's
know
no
how you can
specifics
vote
there.
on stuff not even knowing what was that big increase. That's all I'm asking. I don't understand, and no, I don't agree with this whole Ivanella thing, because I think it is wrong, and I think it's setting a very, very, very bad example to anybody else that, for the town, are showing that they can get away with whatever they want. They can walk all over us as a town.
Well, so then I gather from what you're saying is, then, we can spend 30, 40,000 just to fight to get 10,000 and put that to the town. So, if
Well,
that's
you're
what you
just
want.
throwing that number out there to make it sound
I'm just making
ridiculous,
it-
like I'm ridiculous to ask for something that I think we should fight for, especially seeing how other people are winning and they are getting caught. They're finally, people are taking note. I mean, this is just 2014, the one's on probation right now. I mean, I got it right off the internet.
What's your feelings, Tom?
I think we came to consensus where we would be throwing good money after bad. And it's a gamble. I don't say it's right. I agree with you in principle. However, the facts of the matter, we could lose big time, twice what we're in the hole for. I don't believe that's in the best interest of the town, period.
Okay, but you think it's in the best interest of the town to let him get away with this and then still offer him more things to do?
Oh, offer more?
We're not
No,
offering him
no,
more.
I do
Well,
not
he
believe
wants
that
to
at
come in
all.
and build other stuff. You think as he's building that other place right there that was
That's-
already cleared in Rotterdam, that he's not gonna wanna bring more in over here?
Okay.
What, and you think we're just gonna give that away for free now? Since he has this credit history here?
He hasn't
You
even
gotta be kidding
cleaned,
me.
he hasn't cleaned up the other spot yet. He hasn't had to do anything. He just does what he wants, takes what he wants, and moves on his way. That's all I'm
In the
saying.
best interest of the town, we're gonna save them, it's a gamble, but we're gonna save them money. Upon
Save them
advice
money,
of
they're
our-
already out.
Upon advice of our counsel, said, we would probably lose, and then we'd be in the whole attorney's fees as well. Is that good advice?
I don't trust that the council
Are
has,
you're not an attorney, are you?
no, but I believe he
Then how
has
can
some
you get
interest in
legal
it as
opinion?
well. I know he is chief of staff for Santa Barbara, who is an assemblyman, who has, Ivanella has donated to his campaigns. I see crookedness, that's all I'm seeing, and I'm seeing this is just another stepping stone. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, you can have your say.
You're right, and I just want people to know, and the residents to know,
But we
that this is
don't
what's
agree.
going
I
on.
do not agree with you.
Remember?
That's okay, they're being buffaloed, let me tell you. And it's crooked.
That is opinion.
A lot of crooked things went around here.
In this town. that's
Yeah,
right.
I know there is,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to see it
Better get your,
more and more every
better get
day.
your fingers in it.
That's why we just lost a well-qualified man.
Yeah, because you told the gentleman out there in the front that that our campaign and everything else was lies and everything else. So you're telling somebody standing out there that I'm a liar and nothing was lied
I
about.
didn't say you were alive.
You said all the stuff that the other people, which you consider me, and you do,
I was telling him that, and I stand behind it.
tell me what was lied on.
No, we're not getting
You're
into
right,
political
because
stuff.
you're
We
wrong.
digress from the topic.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Get back to
did.
the point.
yeah, okay. All right,
Discussion?
other discussion? And I would just make it clear that I have been informed that with him not paying, okay, that'll be held against him when he comes for any further permits, because he can't have a permit with him owing the town back money.
So what does that mean as far as holding it against him? What will he have to do?
Well, if somebody owes the town money, they can't be issued a permit.
At all? So if he wants a,
After the release.
Okay, well, that's what I was telling
Once
them.
it's released, it's released. You can't, there's an agreement, it's not an agreement.
So what is your big problem, that that place isn't getting cleaned up, correct?
well, yeah, I mean, he had a thing to take it down. He took everything that was sellable, got rid of the stuff, and now it's still an eyesore over
Place
there.
isn't cleaned up.
I'll go clean it up, don't worry about it.
Well, I hope they cleaned it up.
I'll do it.
But they're not.
I wouldn't pay her nothing. Just to
That's
shut
nice,
your mouth,
Nick.
I'll go clean it up, thank you.
It's not to shut my mouth, Nick. I
Well, you
mean,
made your point now, let's be
Okay,
quiet, okay?
okay, please.
that's nice. I don't even understand why this highway.
You made your point, I'll clean that up. I'll go there with my machinery and clean it up. It's bothering you so much, I didn't realize it. I also know that for a fact that somebody came to me the other day and wanted to know if they could have the lumber that's there. I have nothing to do with it. They just asked me, because I'm the highway superintendent, they said, you got anything to do with it? I said, no. He says, can we go there and get the lumber? I said, go ahead, help yourself.
That's
So,
good, but what I'm
there
saying
might
is,
be good
why
stuff
do
there, I don't
people
know,
have to
it's
be
junk.
held responsible for anything?
Well, I'll see their
That's all I'm saying. I don't, I mean, it's
Okay.
nice that you offer to do something like that. That's
No.
wonderful. But what I'm saying is, I think he should be held.
Let's quit now, I'm over with it, and thank you, and I'll take care of it, okay? The job's done.
Okay, let's move on to the vote
Good.
then. All right? Sandy?
I already read it, I guess. Is there a motion?
Do we have a motion to accept this resolution? No acceptance? You can't table it, right?
Okay. Close the table.
Well, if we have no vote, we want to table it?
I mean, you're gonna need, if you decide not to agree to it, I think you need to hire counsel to litigate the matter. And you're gonna have to retain counsel.
I'm staying home because I work for Loners.
No, that's
I
fine.
admit, I always did. I never said nothing. And I got every privilege to be in executive session. So you better check that law.
Thank you.
Make sure you check it.
I'm
I
sorry.
will.
It would
Thank
be,
you.
it would be contrary
Because I
to our
already
opinion
asked.
as a board in executive session if we were to table it and hire counsel. And it is not in the best interest of the town. I don't agree with it in principle, however, it is in the best interest of the town to move forward and not throw good money after bad. We could be looking at tens of thousands in legal fees and we'd lose. And it's a very good chance that we could lose. I don't believe that's the best option for the town.
I would say this as well. We had discussion in the full executive session. The board came to the consensus and negotiated the agreement in good faith in the direction of the board. Not to say you're obligated to do it now, but there is an element of good faith that that was the direction we were taking, and these are the terms that we discussed. I mean, again, you're not obligated to, you can change your mind, but there is an element of good faith in dealing with the other side.
And we run reputational risk as well. A bad image for the town of Princetown, again, I do not believe in it.
Well, on good faith, I was going by what I was told until I was able to get on and do some research on it because I wasn't here when it all happened. I didn't know anything about it. So I looked into this stuff. And then going in and just typing in their names and seeing what comes up and finding out what we're dealing with was an eye-opener.
That's great. Do you think that's going to be relevant to the case if we go to litigation?
I don't think it's going to cost the thousands and thousands, Tom.
About
No, I don't.
his past experiences? and
No,
reputation
but
during
if
matters?
people are
No,
getting
of
their
course
point
not.
across and judges are seeing it and they are now being held responsible for some of the stuff, it's a step in the right direction instead of just letting people just walk all over. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree.
Okay, we have a vote on the table. A motion. Tom, I made a motion, and I'll second it.
Councilman Gray.
Is that
I
vote?
abstain.
Abstain.
Here. Councilman LaBelle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer.
No.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
You happy now, Joe?
Oh, you're happy.
Supervisor to sign the limited release agreement. Is
What
hereby
it cost you?
resolved that Supervisor Myers will sign the settlement and limited release agreement between the town of Princetown and Robert Ivanella, Timothy Leonard, and T&B Builder Developer Incorporated.
We have a motion to accept that. The motion before us is for me to sign that previous.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman Gray.
I abstain.
Councilman LaBelle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schaefer.
No, and I will make a point that Ivanella, the one they're passing this for to not pursue, does donate to campaign on that side, which I find very fishy.
How can you pass it? You need 3 votes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes.
Something like that. You need 3 votes.
Okay, welcome for privilege of the floor at 7:44.
Yeah, excuse me. I just want to address the printing thing. I can tell you this much, there was a time years ago when we printed the newsletter here at Town Hall. That isn't free because the printer has costs associated with it. It's getting older. We were advised not to use the printer so that it will last longer. We don't have to buy a new one. We have the printing done at Minuteman Press in Rotterdam. It's an 8-page color newsletter for which he charges 50 cents for all 8 pages each. And we print 1,000 each run. So a large part of that is simply printing costs, which if we didn't pay him, we'd be paying for paper and for time and for the use of the printer here, which is not advisable. So that's part of that figure. I don't know where the rest of it is, but I'm sure it involves paper that the town uses, but that much I can tell you.
Well, I was just curious too, because looking at it, I noticed there had been 4 in the past, even if we're being printed here, and there's 2 this year.
Yes, but
I'm
there's
just
no charge
not
for-
understanding the
Right.
difference in that.
Well, there is a big difference, because when you're not paying anything for printing costs other than the paper, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. We pay to have this printed now.
I didn't get a color copy.
It's green. It's
Oh,
not
you mean just
printed
the
in
color
color,
of the
the
paper?
paper.
Oh,
Come on. Well, it's all, we pay for that. That's what we pay for. I mean, the bills are there. Sandy gets the bills. I mean, we can duplicate the bills and bring them to show you if you want to see them. It's no big
No, I was
deal.
just, I saw that and I was just surprised.
I mean,
and why something
you know,
that big was coming out of the
nobody's gonna
chickens
print
company.
1,000 copies of 8 pages for free. I mean,
There was no
even if we did it
explanation. I
here, it's
had no
not gonna be
idea
free.
what was going on. That's why then I compared and wondered to ask the question.
I mean, if the, you know, if people think that's too much, we certainly can get rid of the newsletter. If you want to say $1,300, well, it's not $1,300.
I wasn't complaining. I was just questioning is all because I couldn't make sense out of it. That's all I was asking. Thank you for explaining that. I did not know.
All right, anything further before we close privilege of the floor? All right, we close it at 7:47. All right, any council member concerns before we close the meeting? I would like to just, again, reiterate what Jim said earlier. I thank Tom for his good service to the board this year. It's been great working with him. And I feel he's been a great asset, and I feel like we're losing a good man. But, you know, that's the process. So I trust he'll stay around and work with us down the road, so. You have anything, Doug?
Just disgusted.
Okay,
I'm
Tom?
disgusted.
I do wish Ben Jackers the best of luck in 2017. Please support him and support his spirit of cooperation with other board members and to continue to bring the town north and south, east and west together as a good community and the good people that we are.
Mhm. Yep.
Thank you.
Well, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and best of holidays. And if all goes well, Lord willing, we'll see you next year. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Doug?
And I second.
Tom?
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Councilman LaBelle? Yes. Councilwoman Schaefer? Supervisor Myers?
Yes.